to the Pondering Parenthood podcast, Triple P. I am your host,
and I'm
Mike.
your Oh, no.
What'd you forget how this goes?
Sorry.
It's okay. I am your host, Mike, and here with me is my co-host,
Megan.
Super excited here for our first interview of season 2.
Yes. And it's a good one.
It's a great way to kick off the interviews for season 2. Mm-hmm. Today with us we have Chelsea Myers. Chelsea Myers is a fellow Vermonter. Actually lives probably 20 minutes from us, which is pretty cool.
Less than, I think.
And they have a podcast. Do you want to tell our listeners about Chelsea's podcast?
Yeah, Chelsea's podcast is called Quiet Connection, and they really focus on postpartum mental health issues. They have a lot of different guests on who share their experiences with postpartum, but just really, you hear some really fascinating stories. So highly, highly recommend. And we'll say this again further on, but we have a few episodes we are specifically suggesting before listening to this episode.
Yeah, and we actually were on Chelsea's podcast, and you found them.
I found them through YouTube.
But did Chelsea reach out to you first?
Yeah, they did, because I had seen the podcast on YouTube, but then, I don't know, 2 weeks later, they messaged me on Instagram about it.
Yeah, and so
cool.
You and Chelsea have been in communication now quite a bit for, quite some time now.
Yeah.
I've listened to a bunch of episodes, and just all around, if you like the content we're putting out, I think you will especially like Chelsea's content. I think they have a really great perspective on things, and they provide, I think, a good space for people to kind of feel like they're connected to the experiences that parents have, specifically in that postpartum period, which, I think for most parents is a wonderful time, but also can be a very trying time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please enjoy our interview with Chelsea.
Enjoy the show.
All right, so super excited to have a fellow podcaster on today. Today we have Chelsea Myers, the host of Quiet Connection. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm excited. I'm nervous. You guys are you're like my neighbors, essentially.
I know.
Yeah, we live super close to each other.
They're also, we should say, they're a local podcast. They're
local
10 minutes
Vermont
from us.
Yeah, local
Another
Vermont
podcast.
podcaster. Yeah. So there's a lot that we can go into in this episode, but obviously we have limited time, and we don't want to steal the thunder from your podcast, which everyone should check out again, called Quiet Connection.
I've listened to every episode.
She is
I'm the top fan.
Megan is. I'm like, Megan, you don't understand. That is all of the glimmers I will
awesome.
ever need. I've listened to every episode. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You have too much time on your hands.
I drive a lot, so.
Yeah, that's the only time I can listen to podcasts.
So, in order to sort of set the stage for the rest of the episode, what we would really love from you, sort of a brief overview, bullet points of your postpartum mental health journey, and of course the medical issues you've experienced. We also would recommend for our listeners to check out a couple of particular episodes, Megan.
Yep, Chelsea has 2 specific episodes. The first one is called The Birth of Quiet Connection, and the title's Chelsea's Story. So that's where you'll get their first full story. And then they also have part 2 in, what season is that? That's a little bit later down the road.
I don't know.
Episode 28. I looked it up.
I unlocked it somewhere. It was a bonus, but yeah.
So you can check those out.
So our listeners should go check out those.
I'll also put those links in the show notes.
Yeah, so definitely check out those for a more in-depth background into your story, but if you could just sort of give us maybe, sort of bullet points so we can then get into some other stuff, that would be great.
Yeah. And things have even changed since then. So I will really condense it and do like the nutshell version. I always introduce myself as I'm a non-binary, disabled, stay-at-home mom of 2. I experienced postpartum depression and anxiety when I had my first in 2015. And after I had my second in 2022 is when I really experienced postpartum mental health crises. That was pretty unexplainable and unlike anything I'd ever experienced before, which led to several inpatient hospitalizations, lots of weird medical things that I didn't expect, and ultimately a diagnosis of a pituitary tumor that had hemorrhaged into my brain and that could have been the cause for a lot of it, physical and mental, and has left me now with a dead pituitary gland. So I'm a disabled, chronically ill mama. But this whole journey, while I was going through it, kind of left me feeling really alone and really isolated because I couldn't find anyone going through what I was going through. Like similar, but not the same. And I kind of made a promise to myself that when I was well again, that I was going to do something to make sure that other people could feel heard and seen and validated. And that just it started as a blog and turned into a podcast, and here we are today. How's that for a nutshell?
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think because your podcast really focuses a lot on on grief and postpartum experiences, both positive and negative. But I think that's, as we are podcasting and trying to sort of figure out our niche, it was fun to kind of come across your podcast because it is very specific, right? And like it is very clearly a podcast for people who are experiencing postpartum mental health, for both men, women, all sorts of people. And I know for you, Megan, that was very helpful for you.
Yeah. So I found Chelsea through YouTube. I was posting about our podcast on our YouTube account, and yours popped up as like recommended for you. I don't know if I told you this part. Yeah.
No, you didn't, because my YouTube is like my least visited.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I'm shocked.
Yeah, so you were like popping up in there, and then like a week or 2 later you wrote me on Instagram, and I was like, oh my God. And so when I started listening to your story, what really got me invested was, first of all, how open and vulnerable you are to talk about your story. And specifically when you were talking about your first experience with postpartum and your challenge with bonding, because I had gone through my postpartum with Mike and seeing how much he struggled that first year. And I didn't really have a lot of models or other people that shared those experiences. And so when I heard your episode, I was like, wow, this is exactly like, this is a mirror into Mike's experience. And it just, I don't know, it was like validating his experience in a way that like I started to understand it a little more. Which seems weird, like I feel like I should have been able to do that prior, but hearing it from someone else, it was, yeah.
Well, I also think, like, I mean, as Chelsea points out, and we've now heard from other people we've spoken to, like, the postpartum experience is universal and also incredibly isolating because, most people, you have a baby and it's all, like, rainbows and unicorns and bells and whistles, and like everyone is excited, and there is a lot of excitement around having a new baby, and there's a lot of joy that comes with that. And for many people, I think, a lot of people, and I've spoken to many of my guy friends who are dads who have similar experiences to what I have, which is sort of that feeling of lack of connection to a baby that wasn't inside of you and now is out here in the world and is just a potato. Like, I think a lot of people have those sorts of experiences, but it's not really spoken about because there's so much shame around having those feelings. Like, I just had this baby and I feel no connection. I'm not able to share in that joy that everybody else seems to be experiencing. There must be something wrong with me. I'm the problem. And of course, you know, vocalizing those things out loud just gives voice to the shame that you're already feeling inside. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you were able to find the podcast, and that, Chelsea, you are so good and so open and so vulnerable at expressing these things, so that other people can say, oh, I can either relate to what you're experiencing, or I can relate to somebody else who has experienced this.
And it leads to just more openness of people like, oh, I can share these difficult thoughts and feelings because I'm not alone. So that was really great.
No, that's so, and like you said, you were saying, Mike, it isn't uncommon. So, and you don't even have to classify it as like a mental health disorder either. But if you want to go that route, like 1 in 10 dads or non-birthing partners experience some form of postpartum mental health disorder, and it's 1 in 5 birthing people who experience it. So it's ridiculously common.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's the shame that keeps us from talking about it. But that's just so like I'm like clear, like Quiet Connection isn't about me. It's not about my story. I have little mini episodes every now and then, but it's for everyone else. As you guys were on the podcast, it's for everyone else to go on there and be like, yeah, me too. That's happened to me, and maybe it happened to you too. You're right, because shame dies when we shine light on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Chelsea, one of the questions that you ask all of your guests, which I love when I first started listening, was, can you describe yourself before you were a parent? And I'm just really wanting to hear your answer because I always hear you ask other people. So how would you describe yourself before you were a parent?
I don't think I've ever answered that, like anywhere, and like on anything. Before I was a parent, I don't know, I think a lot about mostly like college and just after college, which was a really long time ago now, but doesn't feel like it. I'm sure you can relate. But like figuring myself out. I went through a phase when I was way too young to know any better, where I really wanted kids. Like, I was like 18, 19, and I was like, I want all the kids now, which made no sense. Wouldn't have been practical. And then, like, after I got married, I was like, nope, I don't want any kids. I want none. So my husband was like, that was not part of the deal. But
It's not what we agreed to.
not quite the same as where we started. But yeah, I danced. Dance was my big hobby. I was in the dance club at Johnson State College, which doesn't exist anymore as Johnson State College.
That's right, yeah.
Big into like metal and rock and like going to all the like Breaking Benjamin concerts and like Shinedown and Seether and yeah, really into live music, really into just being with my friends, being outside. Not a nature person, just put me outside for a little while in the sunshine. I'm like a plant.
Sure.
And then put me back inside because I don't want to stay out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just figuring me out because my youth was very chaotic and it was crazy. So I didn't really get to figure out who I was until college and after college. And I figured out I was a special educator for 10 years, specializing in intensive special needs. Found out that I had a passion for working with kiddos with autism. Now, my kiddo has autism, so maybe that's why I did it. I don't know. Yeah, figuring myself out as I went. Giant nerd, still a giant nerd. Yeah, I think I'm just weird. I'm weird. I was weird. I am weird, and I own it. And that's just that. There you go. How's that?
That's great.
Great.
Loved it.
So I want to, I want to talk about sort of the obstacles that have now come up for you dealing with the physical and mental health things that have happened since having your kiddos. but I want to be careful about having that conversation, because I think it's really easy to sort of other these sorts of situations. And I think, we all have obstacles to parenting. Like we all have things that pop up for us. I mean, for me, it's like a lot of it is a capacity for like just dealing with the day-to-day stuff with kiddos. And so like that is something is constantly an obstacle for me. And so as we have conversations around what are some of the issues that pop up for you in your day-to-day parenting, I want our listeners to understand and realize that maybe, that they can hopefully find ways of relating to this and recognizing that we all have obstacles in our parenting. And one of the things that I wrote down here that I think about is that we can't always be someone's everything all of the time, right? That's not something, I mean, I think as parents we want to do that, but I think that's just the reality of the situation. So
my brain pinged like 100 things when you were saying that, so I'm gonna have to like rein it in. That's one of my neurosparkly tendencies. I write for Vermont Mom Blog as well, and a lot of the things that I write about have to do with my experience as a mom, whether that be through non-binary parenting, whether that be through disabled parenting. And the one common theme that I like to drive home is that these themes are universal. And the things that I have to do to get through my day can absolutely apply to someone who is not disabled, to someone who is not chronically ill. If you're having a really, really crappy week, or you're sick, or your mental health is in the gutter, like, this applies to you too. The thing that I tell everybody is we may all be in the same storm, but we're in different ships.
Mm-hmm.
So prefacing with that, anything that I talk about or anything that I say, like, you can be experiencing and feeling these feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
So valid. But the parent that I was before having my second is a completely different parent than I am now. So I had my first in 2015 and my second in 2022. And with my first, I'll be completely blunt and completely frank. Like, I am not a person who loves to work out, so I wasn't like super strong or anything, but I was fit. I was able to keep up with my daughter. I was able to go out. We could go for hikes. We could go do things. I was not a Pinterest mom, but we'd go to, the Monshire Museum, or we'd go hike at Hardack and whatever. That's not my reality anymore. Because of the pituitary tumor, my pituitary gland, which essentially controls all hormone function for you to live, it is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. And so I say I run on synthetics. I'm on all kinds of medications to keep me alive and functioning, but it's functioning at a much, much, much lower capacity. So on the physical health side of things, every day, if you're familiar with spoon theory, if you're not, Google it.
Yeah.
I actually just had this conversation with my husband not long ago. I feel like I start my day with like a maximum of 7 spoons. 7 out of how many, I don't know. You come up with a number. I don't know how much a normal person has. But, and those spoons diminish very, very quickly. Just taking a shower can take 1 or 2 spoons away. I'm not able to consistently cook dinner. Like, I was the sole cook in my house. I love to cook and bake. I can't cook anymore because I get heat exhaustion over the stove, or I start getting lightheaded if I'm on my feet for too long. And I never know when I'm going to flare, and I never know when I'm going to end up having to make a 911 call for an adrenal crisis or for something similar. Like, those are my realities. I am sick more than I am not, and even when it feels like it's a good day, I still feel like I have a mild flu. That's a good day for me, a mild flu. But that's the reality I'm adjusting to. Along with, I've always had mental health struggles my whole life. that we are sussing out and figuring out more now since having my youngest. So compounded on top of all of the physical health stuff, I'm dealing with OCD on the daily and PTSD and flashbacks and all the stuff that's associated with that. So my older daughter remembers what I was like before. My younger daughter has never known me any other way. I recently spoke with another chronically ill mom, and we talked about couch parenting and how there's a lot of shame and stigma surrounding it, but how beautiful it can be. And that applies to, like, if you're sick, like, if you guys are both sick at the same time, you are not on your, right?
Yeah, it's game over. Yeah.
It's game over.
Yeah.
But couch parenting can be so beautiful when you're all just on the couch, under a blanket, watching a movie, or not even watching a movie. Sometimes we just, like, listen to audiobooks, or they're playing on the floor, and I am talking as one of their stuffed animals, which is my least favorite thing to do in the world. But there is beauty in all forms of parenting, and something that I'm still learning and trying to accept is that I am no less worthy of being their mom because of my physical and mental limitations. I don't know if that answered the question. Oh, something you said too. Like, we can't always operate from 100%. That was a conversation my husband and I had too. Neither of us are going to be, and we had this idea in our heads that, like, okay, well, if Chelsea's at 20%, Ben has to be at 80%, and that's not true at all. And I think I told him that. I'm like, that's not sustainable. I'm like, if I'm at 20% and you're at 40%, that's 100%. It's all a construct. It doesn't matter. That's all we have to give. That's all we have to give.
Yeah.
Ben's favorite line is, there are no rules. So when we're going through these things, and when things are especially hard, we always say, like, we make the rules. There are no rules. So if it's a couch and popcorn and movie night, it's a couch and popcorn and movie night.
Yeah.
If it's a go outside and have a fire in the fire pit night, that's a good night.
Yeah. I actually had a mom who was chronically ill. She had fibromyalgia. And I think when I was a kid, I mean, she also was dealing with like some severe, like, borderline personality, mental health disorders, and addiction. And I think when I was a kid, I would have loved for her to be on the couch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we build it up in our heads that, like, we need to be this for our kids. And it's like, our kids just need us to be there. Mm-hmm. And, like, I mean, Bluey does a good job of doing this. Like, towards the end of the third season, they are going to sell their house, and Bandit is going to move. They're going to move, and because Bandit got a better job. And he's like, but I can finally give you the life that you deserve, or whatever. And Bluey's like, but I like this life. I don't, it's like, it's like all of the stuff that we implant on parenting is stuff that we implant on parenting. Our kids just want us to be there.
Be present.
Like, I get caught up in that. Like, I want to do the vacations and this and that. And my kids just want me to dig in the sand with them. Like, that's like, they're just like, can you come outside and dig in the sand with us? And, like, I have to sometimes, I'm bad at this. Like, I'm like, no, I have to keep working so I can make the money so we can go on the vacations. And it's like, no, like, I just need to go dig in the sand with them. So I think I, like, applaud you for like owning that, because I had a mom who had a lot of issues, and all I ever wanted was just, like, for her to be there, So I applaud you, because it's tough.
I mean, I empathize, and also the reality of it too, being immune compromised, which I'm sure your mom was as well with fibromyalgia. I'm not the mom that goes to the school functions, whether it be because there's a flu going around or because I'm flaring. I'm not the mom that goes to the birthday parties. We don't have friends come over unless we know no one in their house is sick.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that aspect of it where my oldest daughter, who's 10 now, sometimes gets a little bummed out, but that's where my husband kind of steps in. So, like, he goes to the birthday parties, and he goes to the school events, and if I can make it happen, I make it happen. I mask every time I leave the house, but just empathy for, like I said, I don't know anything about your mom's situation, but it's ridiculously hard. Like, the days when I have to go to the hospital, and I can't be home, or when I miss the spring concert, or things like that. Like, that sucks. But yeah, just being on the couch, they just want me to see what they're doing. And like, my youngest just wants me to say meow when she holds her cat up to me, or wants to change our names 12 times a day. Like, as long as I call her Ash and she can call me Serena, like, that's, or I'm Alt, or I'm whatever from Pokemon. There's like too many Pokemon shows right now.
Yeah.
But that's all she wants, right? So there is guilt when I'm not able to show up, but when I can, I do.
Yeah.
So it just looks different.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of already have led us here. So this question it's almost like we planned it. So, yeah, how aware are your kids of your situation, and how does their understanding impact your parenting? Just as an example, like, I have certain tendencies, like in my family, but also with me. Like, I am a very anxious person. I'm susceptible to depression. I've been in therapy for a couple years now. And also, like, there is a tremendous amount of addiction in my family. And I know, I mean, we are already seeing the anxious tendencies in one of our kiddos. I mean, it's like very, very prevalent. And also, like, thinking about addiction in my family, like, at some point I'm going to have conversations with my kids that like these are things that we need to talk about. They're not aware of it yet. But with you, I mean, I assume that your kids are able to kind of pick up on that things are different. So how does that all work, and how does it impact how you parent them?
So like you guys have said, like, I'm really transparent in general. That's not like a front. That's not something that I am just like on the podcast or whatever. Like, that's just how I operate. I don't think I know how to not be transparent. As a child, I would tell on myself if I did something wrong. So both of my kids, like, I have a 10-year-old and a 3-year-old. So the degree to which they understand things is very different. They're both at very different developmental stages. But mental health in general has always been a topic that we've discussed. My 10-year-old knows that I have struggled with depression, that I mean, at the time it was depression and generalized anxiety. That was my diagnosis when she was little. But we just talked about it at an age-appropriate level. Like, if I was having panic attacks, usually we would say mommy's brain is being really mean right now, when she was really little, and be like, mommy's being really mean, and it's okay, I just need some time, and then I'll come back. And then as she got older, we just talked about it more, and she saw it more. It became glaring after my youngest was born, because she watched me go through severe mental health crisis. So she had something to pull from, because she knew that I already struggled. And emotional regulation and stuff, like, we talked about all of those skills. We talked about the zones, the red zone, the yellow zone, the green zone. We've been talking about our feelings from day one. So she had a general idea, but she didn't really understand the depth of it until it got to the point where I needed to be hospitalized. My youngest, like I said, has never known anything different. She is so unfazed by when I have a panic attack or when I might have an OCD spiral. I'm currently tapering off of one medication so that I can get onto one that might work better, and I'm really struggling with it, while also adjusting to a different med and really struggling with that. And the other night I just lost it completely. Sobbing, crying, having flashbacks of after she was born because of how sick I felt and how depressed I was. And I just sat with my kids on the couch and cried. And I told them both, I was like, you don't have to fix anything. I just want to be with you. And my oldest just sat with me. She just sat with me and like we hugged. And my youngest, I think I must have like kissed her on the head or something. And she goes, when you kiss me, does it make you feel better? And I said, yeah. And she's like, okay. Because she's not cuddly. And it's so like, but she recognized something in me and was like, does it make you feel better if you do this? I'm like, yeah, it does. She goes, okay. So she just let me sit and snuggle them. Yeah, we just, with my youngest, we don't go into crazy detail. If mommy's in the hospital now, it's not for mental health reasons. It's usually for some sort of health emergency. And she just, like when the EMTs came storming into our house about a month ago to come cart me off, she was chatting with them. She was like, hey, you're going to make mommy feel better? Like, okay, all right. And she's like telling the dogs, like, everything's okay. We've got 2 dogs. And my oldest was kind of just like, she thought it was her fault because she was sick. But, yeah, they just kind of were talking to each other like, mom's going to be okay. Mom just has to go to the hospital for a little bit. The doctors are going to make them feel better. So, yeah, transparency, honesty at an age-appropriate level. And, yeah, I think now with a combination of my oldest experiencing so much trauma from my husband's catastrophic motorcycle accident in 2021, and almost losing him, to almost losing me after having her sister several times. She, and the genetic predisposition, she is diagnosed with anxiety, autism, and ADHD. Watching her struggle with a lot of the same things that her dad and I struggle with and struggled with growing up is a type of heartbreak that I don't know how to articulate, but also I feel like it makes us better advocates, because we believe her. Like, Mike, I don't know if this resonates with you, but like, I was labeled the kid who was too much. Like, I felt too much. I was dramatic. I was the hypochondriac. Like, when really I had OCD. Like, I had anxiety and OCD. And now, and my training and schooling in special education, like, I see these things and I recognize these things. And when my kid tells me something, like, I don't know why I feel different at school. I don't know why this is so hard. I don't know why I'm so depressed. I believe her. I believe her, and I say, okay, we're going to figure it out. We're going to talk to your doctor. We're going to talk to the school. We're going to figure it out. She's in therapy. Like, so it hurts to watch her struggle, but I'm so glad that I know what I'm seeing because she doesn't have to struggle in the same way that I did then.
Yeah.
That must be like a tiny bit healing in a way. Like, I don't know. That might not be the right word, but like, yeah, maybe not the right word, but like to be able to reparent yourself almost by how you're parenting.
Aren't we all doing that as millennials?
Yeah.
I feel like we are parenting and reparenting at the same time. Somebody asked me a very similar question recently, and I was like, I don't know that it's necessarily healing. It's exhausting. And while I won't speak much to my husband's experience because his experience is his own, I do know that watching our oldest go through what she's going through, but also getting the supports that she needs, is having a very confusing effect on him. It's making, like, after we have an IEP meeting or a 504 meeting or we go to PT or whatever, like, sometimes he'll cry because he's like, nobody helped me like this. Like, if somebody had helped me like this when I was 10 years old, who would I be today? And he always tells me, like, it's a mix of grief and gratitude. And I think I can say the same. It's grief and gratitude. I hate watching, like, her anxiety manifests as nausea and insomnia, and lately it's been really bad, and that was me. I threw up all the time as a kid, and so watching her do that like kills me.
Yeah.
But also being able to hold her hand and be like, this isn't going to be forever. This isn't your forever. I'm not going to let it be your forever. So yeah, it's grief for knowing that our genetics contributed and our life experiences contributed to the situation, but also gratitude in knowing that like we are going to fight for both of our kids to make sure that they don't grow up the way that we did. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and again, applaud your mindset with it. I mean, our kid is just now beginning to, I mean, Snuz has always been a little bit more anxious. But it's really starting to, we watched The Prince of Egypt, which is a Passover movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in forever.
Yep.
I grew up with it. I loved it.
And
I grew up with it too.
yeah, well, and I'm Jewish, and so we'd celebrate
I'm not
Passover.
Jewish, but
and so we thought it would be I mean, we do a Passover Seder and we talk about the story, but it was like, oh, well, we'll watch the movie, and it just really kind of terrified her, and I wish I could say that with everything I've experienced with anxiety and everything I've done, that I wish I could say that I was approaching this in a stabilized and therapeutic way, but it is so triggering. It is so triggering because, like, I blame myself. It's my fault that she's like this. And one of the things that I've been working on in therapy for years is, like, the fact that, like, I'm just going to pass on all of these terrible things to my children, and that, like, I have spent a large portion of my life feeling very inadequate, lacking confidence, and I'm just now kind of beginning to get over a lot of that and recognize that I am worthy and these sorts of things. But one of my biggest fears was that A, I was going to pass all this stuff on to my kids, and B, that my inability to be a good father to Snuz in the beginning was going to cause, irreparable harm and damage for the rest of her life. And so, like, a lot of the things that are happening now are things that I like am so triggered by because I blame myself. And it's, like, really hard to see her being anxious and to remind myself that, like, this is not about you. This is about her and her journey. And, like, I just need to be there and be supportive for her. But it is, I mean, I have failed on numerous occasions to be what she's needed. And, I mean, you're always trying to do better, right? Every day you're trying to do better. But there have been many, many moments where I'm like, oh man, I totally whiffed that. Like, that was a moment and I had an opportunity there. And thankfully Megan is a well-adjusted, so, I mean, somehow she's a well-adjusted and human, and she can be what our kids need in those moments. Because
we've said this. Megan and I have said this several times to each other. It's like our relationships are opposite.
Yep.
So Megan, you said you relate more to my husband, and I definitely relate more to you, Mike. And so, like, everything you just said, so valid. And, like, all of the words that I said before that, like, may have sounded beautiful and wonderful, like, that's a summation of some things I've learned. In the moment, it doesn't look like that.
right.
And a lot of the time, her triggers trigger me. And it is my husband who has to look at me. So, Bluey, back to Bluey.
Yeah.
We came up with a code phrase when I'm getting triggered because she's getting triggered, and my husband will look at me when I need to step back, and he'll say, "She'll be right. She'll be right." And I look at him, and that's my cue to be like, "Okay, all right. I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna let you take this one."
Yep.
Because I'm getting triggered. So yeah, valid. All those fears, I feel those same things, and I F it up all the time. But we talk about it. We like all of us talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With our situation currently with Snuz and a lot of anxiety, especially around bedtime. It's like evening triggered. I was talking to a coworker about it. I'm like, it's the first time in my parenting where I'm realizing I can't just fix this. Like, I can't fix what's going on in your brain. And she was like, "Yep, welcome to parenting," because like she has grown adult children. And like that's gonna happen a lot more and more. It's like, oh, this is awful.
It doesn't. I tell everybody it doesn't get easier. It just gets different.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Having a 3-year-old and a 10-year-old teaches you that. You wouldn't think that they have so much in common, but I mean, I have a 3-year-old who is crazy and stubborn and angry all the time, and I have a 10-year-old who's prepubescent, who's crazy and stubborn and cranky all the time. So it's one of them's just a lot taller than the other one. But yeah, it just gets different.
Yeah, it's rough. It's like cathartic and really hard to like say the certain things out loud, right? Like it's just it's tough stuff.
Yeah. I mean, literally. So that same situation that I was just talking about the other day when I lost it completely, and I'm laying with my kids. I said to my oldest, I said, "I'm really sorry. I'm not like other moms." I felt horrible because before that I'd been in bed for days, and I'd been sick, and I just felt all of this guilt. And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not like other moms." She kills me, though. I don't know what planet this child is from. I don't know how I created this kid, except for the fact that we share all of the same anxieties and everything. But she was like, "Mom, you're exactly the mom you need to be." Oh, she freaking killed me, you guys. Wow. And so I wasn't crying before. You're right, but like I'm not making that up. Like that sounds like so Hallmark cheesy, like gross. And I looked at her. I'm like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who sent you here for me?"
Oh, you gotta hold on to that when she's like 16, 17 and yelling at you and
yeah.
Oh my god, I know. I'll be like, "Do you remember that day? Do you remember the day you told me I was exactly the mom I need to be?" No, but it did. The shame completely overwhelmed me. I just felt like I had to apologize. Like, "I'm sorry, I'm not like other moms. I'm not like other moms." But who says what we're supposed to be?
That's beautiful.
Ugh.
So you've touched a little bit on Ben and your support network there, but can you talk a little bit about what your relationship has been like through this, how it's evolved and all of that?
Yeah. We have gone through several evolutions. In September, we will have been together for 19 years, which is insane. Yeah, that's insane. Our wedding anniversary is coming up, and I think that's 13 years. Yep. And things have shifted so much. So, like, in the beginning, I relied really heavily on him because I was just a mess in life in general. And then we kind of were doing our own things in life as we got older, especially after we had our first. We kind of found a groove, and it was working. And then he had his accident, and it completely shifted our perspective on life and our priorities in life. I never wanted to have another kid, and then I really, really did. It was kind of like that college thing all over again. It was like I did it. Somebody flipped a switch, and we always joke. He was still like he shattered his spine. He should be dead.
Oh my
and he
God.
should be paralyzed. He should be paralyzed. He has a fused spine, and he's Frankenstein.
Oh, wow.
But we're at one of his first follow-up appointments. He's using a modified walker because both of his arms are broken. One of his legs is broken, and his back is healing from surgery.
Oh, wow.
And he asks the doctor, he goes, "Well, we really wanted to, we were trying to have another baby, so how soon can we start doing that?" And I was like, "Can we just get to, like, walking and using the bathroom? Can we focus on that?"
That does sound like you.
I was like, we'll get there, okay? Like, let's just focus on keeping you alive and the fact that I have to toilet you and feed, which he's totally independent now. Like, he's I don't understand.
Has he made a full physical recovery, or?
He will always be in chronic pain.
Oh.
But he walks. He can run.
That's incredible.
Plays with the kids. Yeah, he just has a giant zipper down his back because they had to do a whole spinal thing. And like, yeah, both between the two of us, we've got enough scars. He got a shirt when we went to Disney World that says, "Scars are tattoos with better stories." So yeah, no, he's a freaking miracle. I'm not religious in any way, but I don't know what he did. Someone was watching out for him. He's great. So for a long time, I was his caretaker while he recovered. And then we did get pregnant, and everything happened with me, and it shifted to he was not only caretaker of me, but he was caretaker of a newborn, and at the time, our 7-year-old, when I was home, and then when I was literally gone, I was hospitalized out of the state at one point it was months. So, and that really contributed to burnout for him. And then once I got more stable, we decided together, neither of us had any concerns for our marriage. We weren't like resentful of each other or like anything like that, but we were just so fried, both of us, that we decided we wanted to do couples therapy. And we did, and we learned that things that we thought that we were really good at, we still had a heck of a lot to learn. And that has helped us in ways I can't even explain. That, and we both do individual therapy too. We both have our own therapists, but we're no longer in couples counseling. But a lot of the tools and things that we learned about each other in that have shifted it so that we can now support each other, and we support each other in different ways. So now I'm not, like I said, like I used to cook dinners and breakfasts, and I was the one that was just running around to all the functions and stuff, and now I'm more of the thinker and the planner and the emotional support person. And he's an emotional support person, but he's also running and doing the events and stuff. And he's always reminding me, just like I think one of you said it earlier, that like our worth is not defined by our productivity or like how much we're able to get done in the day. And that's not something that he would have ever said if none of these experiences had happened to us. We both were very much defined by what we did. I was defined by my career. He was defined by his career, how much like we were doing with our friends, and I don't know, all of those things. Success was defined very differently, and these days we both are like, as long as we are all fed and clothed and in bed at the end of the day, it was a good day. My 3-year-old is not always clothed every day.
Ours isn't either.
Yeah, our youngest.
She's been Winnie the Poohing it lately, and I mean, if we're not going anywhere, I don't see why we can't have a Winnie the Pooh day.
Our youngest
like
is
shirt, no pants.
Our youngest is very content to just be in her pull-up the whole time.
We'll
like,
put her to bed in pajamas, and then we'll look at the monitor like an hour later, and she's completely
she's naked.
She's
except
just
for
in her
pull-up.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I'm really happy to know that I am not the only one that is still spying on my 3-year-old with the monitor.
Oh yeah, no,
I still spy on every night. I should share some of the pictures with you because she sleeps in the weirdest freaking configuration. That's why I do it. If I wake up at 2 a.m. and I can't fall back asleep, I'm like, what weird position is my 3-year-old in right now? Yeah. It's entertainment. But
we often look at the monitor and we're like, where is she? And then because like it's hard to tell, and then we'll go up there, and she like
upside down.
Yeah, she's
got
her leg up the wall, and it's like, what? Why? How is this? You can't sleep like this.
Very silly.
She started coming downstairs and sleeping in the recliner, but I think I was a sleepwalker, and I think she's sleepwalking because she has no idea that it happened. Like, I'll look at the monitor and be like, where is she? That's not good, because she's upstairs and we're downstairs. And then I'll walk out and she's in the recliner just passed out. I'm like, what are you doing, kid? She doesn't respond. So, yeah, nope, I'm going to be keeping that monitor in there. I don't care that she's 3.
We have
our 5-year-old uses it to communicate with us.
We just, because
we did that. We we would do that with our Echoes, but we got rid of all of our Echoes. We don't do Amazon in our house anymore, but we did that with our Echoes.
Our bedroom
like,
is
Lily, it's time for dinner.
downstairs, so we can't.
Yeah.
That's like how she let us know.
Although they've started coming. I mean, the 5-year-old has always come out of her room, or it's not uncommon for her to come out of her room. Our 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old is now coming out of her room when we don't want her to. She came down this morning at like 6:30, and we were like, "Nope, what are you doing down here?"
No, yeah, we have an okay to wake clock.
I need to get one for her.
For her,
I have one
yeah.
for the older one.
The problem is that, as I think is pretty typical between first and second borns, our first is a rule follower.
Yeah.
So like she sees the clock and she understands the way it works, and
She never got out of bed. She would just sit there and
Yeah.
look at books.
look at books, and our feral second born is
Yes.
feral.
They are feral.
They're feral.
Second-borns are built different.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She looks at I'm like, if the clock is red, we stay in bed. And she goes, well, it was yellow. That's because it was your nightlight and it was 2:00 in the morning. So that's not how that works.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, very relatable. Rabbit holes.
Yeah.
So, can you share a little bit about what you're doing, how the podcast came out, and where people can find you? All the work you're doing, so much in the realm of postpartum and pregnancy and birth. Love to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm doing more than I probably should be, but I'm doing it. So the podcast started with people that I knew, just kind of like what you guys are doing, which is why I love what you guys are doing. And I also love that you're doing it together. I wish I could get Ben to do more.
He's been on a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It is not. He does not like it. So yeah, it just came about with me like approaching. I kind of put it out there on my personal Facebook, and I was like, "You guys know what's been going on with me, because I've been talking about it. And if this is what I want to do, and if you want to be part of this project, like I'd love to hear from you." So it started as starting a small Facebook group, and people that I knew, people like friends of friends, people. My very first episode was one of my mom's friends, and that is probably one of the most impactful episodes.
Phyllis?
Yes,
Oh,
Phyllis.
I loved that episode.
Oh my god.
For listeners, it's her first episode of season 1. Go and listen to it. It was fascinating.
Phyllis is someone I'd never met. She's my mom's friend, but she experienced postpartum depression in like the early 80s, I think, late 70s, and she was so honest.
Yeah.
And we'd never met before, and she just laid it all out, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Also, my first episodes were so I cringe when I listen to them, when I listen to myself, so just know that. But like Phyllis was amazing, and more people just kind of were filing in based on like word of mouth. And then I decided I really want to take this more seriously. I joined PodMatch for podcasters, so I could find people who would kind of align with what I was looking for, and I found people that way. But now, for the last like year and a half, people kind of find me, or I find them. Like I found you guys. A lot of it is through social media. Some of it is through guests who have already been on. And that to me, like, I don't care how many downloads I have, like, if someone feels safe coming to me and saying, like, I want to share my story in this space, that to me is worth everything.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's insane to me that someone would want to do that. I have insane imposter syndrome. Beyond that, I also do a lot of work with Postpartum Support International. Now, they were not a resource that I accessed when I was going through what I went through because I was kind of past that point. But I wanted to learn and to give back. And so I am now a peer support group leader. So once a month, I support a perinatal mental health virtual group for parents all over the world. and I was a member of the first cohort of Blue Dot ambassadors through Postpartum Support International, which is just perinatal mental health advocates sharing information and gaining knowledge. And I'm still a Blue Dot member. And I recently just finished my training through PSI and the Alma Institute. And I am the first cohort of Alma trained peer mentors through Postpartum Support International, where I can provide direct activation behavioral therapy to birthing people. I'm waiting to get paired with my first person. We all are, because we're all in like that in between period. But yeah, and I'm just always trying to network. Like I'm trying to PSI Vermont has like, have you thought about joining the board? I'm like, I can't, I don't have time to remember my name. Like, no, call me if like you want me to come to an event or something, or support, like I'll support that, or I'll talk about it on the podcast, but like I cannot be a board member. I can't do anything else. I can't do anything else.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't, this feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. And you guys are getting an exclusive. I haven't talked about this on my podcast. I haven't talked about it on my website. I haven't talked about it on social media. But my husband has been hounding me for years now. And I've always been a writer. I've always written, always journaled. And he has been telling me that I need to sit down and write a damn book. And I don't know where to start. That's been the hardest part. But I have started outlining.
Wow.
We'll be writing a book.
That
I will be
is
writing a book.
so exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Heard it here first. We'll
Wow.
definitely play that up for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we will. That's awesome.
I mean, don't play it up too much because I have absolutely no idea how long it's going to take me.
We're just gonna make up a date that it's coming out. It'll be out. Yeah.
And then we'll just keep
Then
extending.
you'll have to be held to that.
Oh my god, you can't know because Rebecca Yaros and who else? The Sarah J. Maas, they're putting out new ACOTAR and Fourth Wing books. So as soon as those come out, I'm not going to be writing anything. Are you kidding me? I need to read again. So
There you go.
I'll write until October, and then I'll be reading for the next month or so.
Wow,
So
that's so exciting though. Congratulations.
thanks. I have absolutely no idea how to do it, but I have an outline, and I'm chipping away.
That's awesome.
It'll
Well,
be something.
And I mean, you know, as you go through the process of writing and then publishing, I mean, at this point now, self-publishing is so easy that
Yeah.
it does make it pretty easy to come out with books. Of course, you know, with publishing in a traditional way, you have marketing and all that kind of stuff. But if the goal is just to write something and then get it out there, I mean, we have, you know, Megan has two brothers who have one who is, I mean, both have self-published a lot. And that just makes it so easy to get stuff out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, as with everything that I do, the goal is not millions of followers
Right.
or millions of listeners. It is that one person
Yeah.
that felt like I did and doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting it down, getting it out. Like I said, the hardest part for me is like, where do I start?
Yeah, I hear you.
But yeah, there will be that, and there will also eventually be children's books as well, because children's books are always what I wanted to write, but I need to start here. This is where I need to start. Get this out of the way. So yeah, I saved that just for you guys.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
feel so special.
Before we move on to our last question, can you just give your social handles so we have
Oh
those?
yeah. It's easy. It's Quiet Connection Podcast on everything.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm not on TikTok anymore, but I'm Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is really where I'm most active. But Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, Blue Sky, Red Note, Quiet Connection Podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then we like to finish our episodes with this particular question. And it is, if you can instill one core value or trait in your child or children, what would it be?
Empathy. that was a no-brainer. I know, like, you guys sent me over your outline, and when I saw that, I was like, empathy. I believe empathy is the key to, I mean, obviously we're not going to solve all the world's problems, but it's the key to connection, it's the key to vulnerability, it's the key to understanding each other. So if I can instill anything in my kids, it's empathy. And so far, seems to be going okay. And I hope it continues that way. Once puberty hits, I'll let you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I think, there's probably 4 or 5 years in all humans' life where empathy kind of goes out the window entirely because your brain is under construction, so not much you can do about that.
No, but for right now, I'm pretty proud of my kids, and empathy is our core value.
Love that. Do you have any advice for us having a 10-year-old, since we're quite a few years behind you guys?
Oh, you guys. Well, my 10-year-old is neurosparkly, so, but I think every kid is different. And don't try, because I can say this and I don't follow this, try really hard not to take it personally. Whatever comes out of her mouth, try not to, whatever comes off of her face in your direction, try really hard not to take it personally. Because 9 times out of 10 she'll come back like 6 hours later and be like, I wasn't even mad at you, I was just mad. But she's not nice, you guys.
I don't have any problem with taking things personally at all. It's not an issue I have at all.
I'm sensing some sarcasm.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah, I take everything personally and feel like everything's my fault. So, but you really do. You have to literally like say to yourself, like, this is not about me right now.
Yeah.
This is not about me. That's my advice, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not great, but you'll get through it. We're all gonna get through it. We have to. We don't have another choice.
Yeah. We're stuck with them for at least 18 years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
My 10-year-old says she doesn't ever want to leave, and I'm like, God, you may feel differently when you're older.
Our 5-year-old says the same thing, and we're like, just hold on to that for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. She also does not want to get married or have kids. She just wants to have dogs and live with us. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna have dogs, you can't. But like, we've got enough.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna happen. But
our 5-year-old has actively said that she wants to be a daddy, and the reason she wants to be a daddy is because she doesn't want to have
get cut open.
She doesn't want to get cut open.
That's how they came into the world.
That's how my second came. But that's the same thing. My oldest is like, yeah, I don't want to have kids. I don't really like babies, and I really don't want to have them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, valid. Okay, that's valid.
This morning our oldest said, I don't want my tummy to hurt. And then Megan was like, oh, well, your tummy doesn't hurt for that long. Well, I guess it's kind of a long time.
And every time you sneeze, you feel like your insides are going to fall out. Yeah. Oh, fun times, Megan.
Good stuff. Well, this has been a total delight. Again, for our listeners, we didn't go into like heavy detail into Chelsea's story because we actively want you to go listen to Chelsea's podcasts. It's Quiet Connection. Lots of really good postpartum stuff from a variety of people, variety of stories. I mean, you've got 5 seasons out now, I think.
Season 7 airs
Season 7.
Monday.
Oh, airs Monday.
7 airs on Monday, April 27th.
Oh.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So highly recommend. If you like our podcast where we focus more on sort of the parenting side of things, I think Chelsea's podcast is like a good. They work well together because one is really sort of focusing on the postpartum, and then focusing on the struggles and joys of parenting all go together. So thank you so much for coming on and talking to us.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so thankful that we connected. I'm so crazy amazed that you guys are just down the freaking road and you're doing these amazing things. And yay, I'm so excited I got to be on your podcast.
Yay. Glad it worked out.